Hello, everybody. It is Mary with Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, which means it is Facebook Live video time. And I'm going to just make sure that I am transmitilating. Looks like I am. And so it looks like I'll be able to see when folks come on and start saying hello. Alrighty, so I gave you a little sneak peek this morning of a fun little card. Now this, Halloween is not my favorite holiday. It's just not. I don't have kids. We live where there's not going to be any trick-or-treating, so a lot of the fun part of Halloween just doesn't even happen for us anymore. Hey Mary, hi Rosie, hi Julie, hi Sylvia, hi Holly from South Dakota, and Vicky, hello. All right, so, but this little set, I mean, I almost always buy all the stuff because that's just kind of how I roll. But this one, I really wanted because of this image right here. That guy right there. Anybody who's ever had a cat has had a cat in a box that's way too small for them. Way too small. And they love it. And if you tried to make them get in that box, they'd be on you like, oh my gosh, I'm calling PETA. You're trying to kill me. But buy them a bed. The more expensive the bed, the less likely they are to sleep in it. But give them a box and they're all over it, right? Hey, Jean. Hi, Claire. Hi, Pam. I appreciate everybody joining. Donna and Sherry and Mary and, oh my goodness, everybody's on. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Karen. Hey, Karen. Second Karen. So anyway, I really thought this was so cute. And I love this little sentiment. Really, I've been this cute all 9 lives. So I wanted to use it. But I didn't want it to be a Halloween card. So I did not go even sort of Halloween colors. I've used Flirty Flamingo and Highland Heather, which just so happens to be a couple of the coordinating colors in the cute Halloween DSP. Okay, so what I am telling you here is, even if you are not a Halloween person, do not discount this this paper, because everybody likes orange and black anyway, and you've got all sorts of different designs available. The ones I really love are these little stripes that I've used in the greens and purples and pinks, and then the polka dots. And then you've got just plain black and white stripes that can be kind of almost anything. So this is fun DSP, whether you're a Halloween person or not. Hi Bree, hi Vicky, hi Linda, and Catherine, appreciate you joining. And Wendy, you're awake. And it's like really early in the morning, right? So why are you awake, or is it late at night? It's hard to say. Somewhere in between, right? Okay, so this is the card. It's got some of the cute Halloween DSP. It's got some black glitter paper, which is back. And I've cut a black glitter paper doily doohickey with this die from the Encircled in Beauty. And then I pulled out one of my favorite go-tos, which is the Hippo and Friends, for our little artwork here. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, and this is what I put on the inside. Hang on. Serious. That little guy peeking over the top. I mean, really, how do you not love this? Okay, and we did a little paper piecing, so we're going to do a little of that today as well. So let's get started. Now, all of these will be on my blog tomorrow, so you do not even need to take notes unless that's like just how you roll. I've got some Highland Heather matting and some of the cute Halloween DSP, and we're going to just start matting and stuff like that. Donna, it's midnight. Oh my goodness. Well, you guys are very dedicated, and I do appreciate you watching at such a late hour. I mean, I appreciate it at any hour, but I am particularly impressed when people watch way late into the night. Okay, so we're matting on Highland Heather, trying to make it kind of straightish. Okay, and then I also cut a little piece of that aforementioned cute stripy paper. I mean, seriously, this, other than there being a black cat, and I mean, I had a black cat. I've had black cats most of my life. And again, Halloween just isn't my thing. They were always handy when I was casting my spells in the basement, but that's neither here nor there. If you guys follow me, you saw that cute picture with the broom in the middle of the road, and said how everybody needs to go out and look for. We've lost one. We've got one down. One is down. All right, so I've just matted it on a strip of the Highland Heather, and I'm going to adhere it to the card front with some liquid glue. Easy and also peasy. Okay. Now here's a little tip. You can line your card front up with your grid paper and kind of put this in the middle using, you know, 1, 2, 3, and a little bit, 1, 2, 3, and a little bit. So it's pretty close to being right in the middle. And then it helps to be able to use your grid lines to help you line up and make sure you are straight. So if you don't have grid paper, get grid paper. Trust me, you'll want it. Okay. Gloria, you love Halloween. Well, then you are going to love this. And 18-year-old black kitty. Yeah, I just lost mine not too long ago. I am kittyless. I cannot even tell you the last time I was kittyless, but I have been kittyless now for, it seems like a minute. So, okay. I cut, as I mentioned earlier, the Encircled in Beauty die from some black glitter. And glitter paper, not black glitter. That would be weird, wouldn't it? Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half. My first kitty when I was little was a black kitty. Only it was a her, and her name was Mimi's. Yes, it was really quite the name. And I toted her around in a baby carriage, a baby doll carriage, and made her wear clothes. And she just laid there and put up with it. I'm certain if I could have heard what she was thinking, I wouldn't have been impressed. But she was a good kitty. Good kitty. They're all good kitties. Okay, so it turns out this thing's about 3 inches wide. I'm just going to kind of put it in half. And so I'm going to line up the edge at 1.5. And I've kind of got it straight-ish. This is not hypercritical because it's going to be covered by the artwork. But you do want it to not be what I just did there. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to piece it on with some glue. You'll see how to do that in just a second. Alrighty. So I will actually pick this up because I totally borked that. Oh well, I'll fix it. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it work. No, I'm not. I'm going to pick this up. Okay, so what you just witnessed there was me yakking more than thinking. So now what I am doing is ever so carefully picking that panel up that I just adhered with liquid glue because I meant to put the die cut down first. Now let us pretend that I did this on purpose as a learning event. How about that? Can you go with me on that? Okay. Pretend I meant for you to learn that you can fix your problems. Why? Because it is paper, people. It's just paper. Make it do what you want. All right, so I'm going to take my little half doohickey here and I'm going to adhere it with liquid glue. And I'm going to put it right about here. And what I'm really doing is kind of putting this little longest piece just about on the edge of the card front there. Okay, and then this little guy right here is going to be adhered right like that with a little more liquid glue. If yours comes apart when you are cutting it, you now know how to fix it, and you can just go, oh yeah, I totally know how to fix that now. I know how to fix that because Mary showed me how to fix that. And you can just put it like so. Boom. And then we'll do the other side the exact same way. See, we always had a black cat. Even after all the kids were gone, my mom still kept. Tried to get another one. They would not adopt that. Well, I'm glad they wouldn't do that because you know what? People kind of suck and they do bad things to kitties, and black kitties are particularly in danger. Actually, that was how I sort of came to have the last 2 kitties that I had. Was I saw them not on Halloween, but on the 4th of July, which is the same danger period for kitties. Yes, I have the kind of yes, it was a teaching moment, Teresa. And yes, Mary, this is the paper that always does exactly what you want it to. You should ask for that the next time you place an order. No. You know, it's really kind of odd how infrequently I make those kinds of errors when I have not been joined by you guys in my craft room. I'm not real sure what that is about. It could be that I am not focused very well on what I am doing because I am busy yakking at you guys. So There, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We're going to try this again, as if it never happened in the first place. So now you can line this up on your grid paper and kind of just line it up as so. You want it straight across the top, you want it straight up and down, and about in the middle of your card base. Okay, just like that. Look at that. It's as if it never happened. Yeah, I like tuxedo kitties. I'm kind of a fan of tuxedo kitties. Okay, so there that is, as if it never happened. We're going to set this aside for just a second, and I'm going to make my artwork. Actually, that part right there looks like it happened, so I'm going to put a little more glue right there. Yeah, there we go. We'll get it. We'll get it. It's going to do what I want it to do, by golly. Okay. So now I'm going to pull out my Stampopotamus, and I already have my adorable little box guy on there, and I'm going to take a piece of cardstock. I want to make sure I got the one that is not supposed to be my inner liner. Okay, that's this one. And I'm going to put this little piece of cardstock. Oh my gosh, Pam, then absolutely you need this set. If you've got family that is all about the black kitties, then you definitely want this set. All right, and then I'm just going to set him. I don't need, there's nowhere in particular that it needs to go, but you do need to have enough space. Yes, they are all love boxes. I do miss my kitty. There's no way around that. So I just need enough space around it to be able to cut the hippo die, right? Okay. So now I'll just pick this up. Now I do have my foam mat in here because I'm using a photopolymer stamp. All right. Remember, if you're using the red ones, technically you don't need the foam mat because the red ones already have their foam on them. It's part of their charm. Okay, so I'm just going to ink him up. He's going to be black because, you know, why not? Why not? And I'm just going to ink him and stamp him. And I'm going to ink him and stamp him again so he's really, truly a black kitty and not like a moth-eaten mangy kitty. Although there's nothing wrong with that. And she is so mean. Yeah, they can be. Okay. Now I'm going to set him aside for just a second so he can dry. And while I'm waiting for that, I have just a little strip of that polka dot paper. And I'm going to line it up so I can catch that little box. Ah! Ah! Okay. Now, when this happens, and I do say when, not if, because it will, I promise. If you use these magnets, these are rare earth magnets, and they are magnets now with capital M, and those little shaky things so that you know they're magnets, right? When that happens, just take your fingers and twist, okay? Like that. Do not even try to pull them apart. Twist them apart like that, and then pull, okay? I can also tell you that if your finger is between them, it's going to hurt. Just throwing it out there for you, okay? Just so you know. And let me make sure I'm still lined up. All I need is that gift, so we're good to go. We'll put that there, and then ink that again. 4 cats. Yep, you know what? I've been up to 6. In fact, I've moved 6 across country. 6 kitties, 5 dogs, 3 horses. Yeah. I'm just saying, it's high adventure. But that's why I always wonder when people say, well, I'm giving away my dog because we're moving. Okay, I don't understand that. I don't get it. I do not understand. But you know what's weird? I had people say, so what do you do with your dogs and your cats and your horses when the military moves you? I take them because they're my family. I mean, that's what I do. I'll borrow Chester. Come on now. Oh yes, Donna, bags are always suspect. Okay, so this is dry now. So all I'm doing is I'm just cutting out the box. Just cutting just the box, okay? And I'm gonna stay right at the edge of the outline. And you kind of have to eyeball the outline here because it's hard to tell where cat ends and outline begins, but you know, it's all black, so it's all good. Okay. And we're just doing I mean, this is about as basic in the fussy cutting arena as you can get. These are all straight lines. So there we go. And I just thought this was such a nice little touch that I thought it was worth doing. Absolutely worth doing. I encourage you to do this part. You do not have to if you don't want to. There is a stamp. We're going to use it on the front of the envelope. So you do not have to do this, but it is a nice little extra touch. And then if you can see the white, you can actually just take your Stampin' Right marker and kind of extend the line. You know, if you get a little too far away from your edge, you can just kind of extend the line with your Stampin' Right marker. And that's making it just a little more pronounced. Like so. Okay. Now we'll set that aside, and with any luck, I'll still be able to find it when we get to that point. Now, our little guy right here is dry, so I'm going to go ahead and cut him out real quick like a bunny. Well, I mean, it's not going to be that quick because I got to make sure it's lined up just perfectly. Just perfect, or, you know, as perfect as I can make it be. And I want it straight. Okay, there we go. We're doing good. We're cooking with gas, people. We are cooking with gas. So, I would love to tell you guys that I got all the shares done and mailed today. And if I did tell you that, I would only be half lying. I got all the shares done. They're all cut. They're all packaged. But I missed the 12 o'clock cutoff, being that it is Saturday. So they're going to have to go out on Monday. I apologize for that very much if you are waiting for it. I do also, by the way, have 2 extra single shares. If anybody is interested in them, let me know. They'll be... there's no red velvet in any of them. And if you bought a share, you will find a semi-crisp dollar bill inside your share because I've refunded that. The red velvet is on kind of a long back order, and I just didn't want y'all to have to wait. Okay? Well, Amy is always ahead of me. Always. It's just a thing. It's the way I roll. We tried hard, and I just wasn't able to do it. But hers will probably be there Monday. All of the ones on my share say the longest is 3 days, so it shouldn't take very long. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start putting our card front together. Before I do something goofy, I'm going to take some of this very pretty Highland Heather grosgrain ribbon. It is 1/2 inch wide. And I am going to just do a kind of a light cross right there in the center. All right? I had my kids. I know, that's just, it's just an old wives' tale. Cats do not hurt kids. In fact, they are good for kids. I actually firmly believe that unless kids are born with massive allergies, that it helps them to be around animals when they're young, because I think that helps them to develop immunities and things like that. That's my personal opinion. It's not corroborated by any science that I'm aware of, but I don't care. If I ever had kids, they'd have grown up with cats. That would have just been the way it rolled. And that whole thing about they steal their breath. Come on, people. That's cray-cray. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cross this right about there, and I'm going to use liquid glue because it's under the artwork and there's no chance of it showing or being, you know, lumpy or anything like that. You could also use Stampin' Seal if you preferred. All right. There we go. Okay. And now I will take a couple of 3 or 12 dimensionals, and I'm going to put them right by the ribbon, like so, and double check where my art is going to be, like that. Okay, so I can put another dimensional out a little ways to give it some support, and there as well. And we'll take these lids off. I think these would be lids or caps, or maybe I suppose covers is more accurate all the way around. Probably covers is more accurate. I call them fin magnets. That's what they are. Yep, there you go. Kitty will tell you every time there's a problem. And we're gonna put this on right like that. Hey, Amy, appreciate you joining, kiddo. All right, now let's go ahead and make us a sentimente. And I've got a little 3/8 inch wide strip of cardstock, which means there's no shot that I will get it on here straight, but that's okay, because I've got like two. I made two just in case, and there's 4 sides, so we're good to go. Alrighty, so I am stamping this. It's Hey Crazy Cat. I'm stamping it in Flirty Flamingo, and I am going to pull it to me just a little bit, just so that I have a shot. And we're going to, okay, everybody hold your breath, hold your mouth just right, and we're going to put that on and hope it's straight, hope it's straight, hope it's straight. Let it be straight, let it be straight. Ah! Okay, it's straight. Yay! Score 1 for Mary. All right. Now, I'm going to cut the ends off. And I'm just wagging how far. I mean, totally wagging here. And then here's how to make a banner without a punch or anything weird like that. Take your little snippy whippies and make a small snip right in the middle, straight up the center, like that. And then just cut from the corner to the snip and the corner to the snip. And then make sure you go all the way to the snip, and then you can kind of just help it out. Because sometimes it works, and then other times, you guys know what the perversity of an inanimate object is? Yeah, me too. That's what this is right now. Okay, and then we will repeat on the other side, like so. And then what I like to do when I'm making these little strippy strips, I like to take a perfectly coordinating Stampin' Right marker, in this case, Highland Heather, and do my edging. So I'm just holding my marker at a 90-degree angle to the edge of my sentiment, and I am loading up the edges with Highland Heather. And I just like to do it because it kind of defines the sentiment and sort of acts like a mat without a mat. It's a mat without a mat. So it's a matless mat. You could go without, huh? Okay. Now I'm going to put the dimensionals on the back of the sentiment. And then we're really, really getting there. I can't do banners. I cut and snip, and I know. It isn't easy, and I agree. It's high adventure, and it's risky doing it on camera. There's no doubt about it. But we do what we got to do. Okay. Oh, I'm not going to put it on upside down. There would be no way to say, oh, and that's a teaching moment. No, there would be no way for that. Okay, so we're going to put him right about here, like that. Now, remember that little box I cut out? I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of it. My dimensionals are falling apart. And we'll just put 2 on the back, and then I'm going to pop it right over the top of the stamped box on the artwork. And that is paper piecing with dimensionals. You could also actually do this exact same technique, but instead of using dimensionals, just use some liquid glue to put it in place, which is also fun. But I just thought that was a nice little bit of dimension. Now the final touch, I've got some opal rounds, and I actually already used my dark Flirty Flamingo Stampin' Blend to color one of the smaller ones. And I'm just going to put it in place right about there. And there is our card front. Okay, so let's put him aside and pull out our inner liner. How can the kitty read it? The kitties have eyes in the back of their heads, I assure you. They can see stuff you don't even know exists, and they are going to be on it like white on rice. I can promise. Thanks, Faith. All right, so my second sentiment, my favoriteest one in the whole set, really. I've been this cute all 9 lives. I'm going to stamp right in the center of my basic white panel. Hopefully it's kind of straight. If it isn't, it isn't. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Suzanne. And then I've got that little guy right there, see him? And I'm going to stamp him right above the sentiment, like he's peeking over the top of it. And when you're doing this, just because I'm not using my Stamparatus, because I don't want to take the time, I like to stamp it to be sure, 1, that I am getting a dark enough image, okay? And 2, that I don't have something on it that I can't see, like a little piece of, I don't know, dog hair or something like that, that's gonna ruin my image. Okay, so now I'm going to try to get it right over the top here. I can't see it very good. You guys are in the way. All right, there we go. There. I will take it, Pat. Thanks, Julie. It is. It really is a darling, darling set. I love it. I am enough of a cat person that this is really working for me. And the little faces, his expression is classic. And it's got a little hat, so you could put a witch's hat on him. I mean, it's too cute if you wanted to go full up Halloween, which, like I said, I'm not. This is just a fun card. This is all for fun. There's nothing scary or serious or anything about this card. This is just a, hey, I was thinking about you today and I like you, so I'm sending you a really cute card. All right, I have a Flirty Flamingo card base that I have sort of folded. Here we go. Here's a bone folder. I found it. I found it. All right, and then we'll just adhere this on the inside with more liquid glue. Y'all know if you prefer Stampin' Seal, you can absolutely use that instead of liquid glue. Okay, I am a liquid glue person. I cannot even help it. The stamp artist must have a kitty at home. Absolutely, absolutely. I know, see, Wendy, that's how I feel exactly. My mom sends me Halloween cards, but I don't send any Halloween cards out. I just don't. It's just not how we roll. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to pop this card front on with dimensionals. Because, hello, dimensionals. Got to have them. Always got to have them. Lots of them. The more, the merrier. If 1 is good, 12 are better. But I only need 9. But technically it's only 4.5 because I have cut them in half. So look at that. I'm like a dimensional conservationist. Yeah, there it is. I better close this, huh? Okay. Yeah, I'm a dimensional conservationist. So there you go. That's a thing. It would be great for Christmas. You could change this up and put him in a wrapping, put this in Christmas colors. Absolutely. You absolutely could. Faux show. And here we go. Just one last check to be sure I'm putting it on the front. I am not saying that I have ever put a card on the back of a card, but I've totally put the card on the back of the card before. Just throwing it out there. Okay, now for my envelope, I'm once again going to pull out my Stampopotamus. And I'm going to clean off my stamp image because I want to move it. And I don't want that black all over my fingers. All over my fingers. Yes, the grandkids probably would like a Halloween card. All right, so I'm just going to put this in the corner, the envelope up in the corner. And we're going to place this little guy right here. And I'm going to put my magnets down because I really do want it to hold still. If you ever can't find your magnets, look on the back. It's on the back, I promise. It's always on the back of the Stamparatus. All right. And then some more black. Give it a good press. Make sure you get it back in place. The envelope is what I meant when I said the non-specific it. Okay, that is good right there. I'll close this up so I do not have an inkatastrophe. And you'll notice I'm trying not to rub my fingers over that black cat yet because I want him to get good and dry. So now I'm going to take this image. Now this image bamboozled me for a minute. And I did a lot of stamping around. And then I finally decided it was supposed to be like this. I mean, it's perfect right here. So I truly believe, it is designed to be stamped just like this. So it's a little bit artsy, not quite perfect, which I have some issues with. I like how it looks, but my brain doesn't get around it very good. But we're gonna give it a go here. Let me see if I can get it in the middle. Well, or you know, where it's supposed to go. So if you just line the edges up and the bottom like that, that ought to be just about right. Perfecto. Parfait. Hey Lynn, appreciate you joining. And then I'm going to take another piece of my DSP. Now this piece is left over from cutting the card front. Okay, so it's a 6x6 sheet. I cut 3 7/8 off. And this is not quite as deep as my envelope flap. No big. Just put it on as usual. Use a little liquid glue. And you do always kind of want to cheat this down just a little bit so it doesn't gap when you put your card in. So it's not quite up against the fold of the envelope. But you can see it does not come quite all the way to the edge of the flap. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Just pull out your scissors and do a quick fussy cut around like so. On both ends, and then you can just fussy cut that little edge, and I can assure you no one will ever know the difference, ever. You would never know if I had not just told you that that's what happened. You would never know. I could color it with a Stampin' blend, I could, but I actually kind of like it now that I know that that's what it's supposed to be. I like it. It's just a little bit eclectic, and I need Stampin' Up to help me be eclectic because I'm not. I am a pilot, I'm an engineer, I want stuff, you know, the way it's supposed to be. Perfect, like it's supposed to be. So this helps me be a little less than that. All right, you guys, serious. Now, just so you know, Clever Cat, the Clever Cats stamp set is in bundle number 6, not so spooky bundle, along with some other things that are both fun and Halloween-y. So if you do like Halloween, you've got it covered. And if not, you've got that covered too. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you will at least get this stamp set. If you don't get even if you don't get the bundle, I hope you'll get the stamp set because it's just too cute. And I hope I will see you next Thursday for my YouTube live video. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a great start to your work week. Thank you. Bye-bye.